Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sunday debate. Now, on this Sunday debate, the last few Sunday debates, we've all had live editions of the Sunday debate, and there's been a lot of interactivity. So many of you have been writing into us. And I sort of get the feeling with every Sunday debate that this conversation that we have every Sunday noon somewhere brings us together. Because at a time of the lockdown, we have endured now 47 days of the lockdown. Endure may be too hyperbolically cynical a word, but let the cynics be happy for a while. We have endured 47 days of a lockdown, and we are enduring it, remember, people of India, because we will beat the COVID crisis. We have managed to ensure that we see today some 60,000 plus cases of COVID. But this 47-day, 48-day period has not been easy. But was it meant to be easy in the first place? Absolutely not. We knew on day one that when adversity comes, the champions are those who hold their nerve. And the losers are those who lose their nerve. The champions are those who say that through the adversity, we will emerge stronger. The losers are those who feel insecurity and try to breed insecurity among others as well. And we, ladies and gentlemen, are a country of champions. We have managed to ensure that even at this time, we are together. Yes, some of you must be feeling exhausted, don't we all? And some of you must be feeling restless. And some others might be feeling edgy. And things must be tough. I know that there are people who are feeling great anxiety. And out of anxiety sometimes is born a sense of frustration. And frankly, that is what we call lockdown fatigue. But then who would not feel fatigued after 47 or 48 days of standing together? But let me ask you this Sunday, and I actually came in with a direct question to all of you watching the Sunday debate today. Tell me, are you going to come out strong? Are you going to win this? Are you determined to hang in there? Do you still have the faith? Do you believe that we will come through this? And if at any point of time there are people among you who are trying to breed in a sense of insecurity and fear and trying to play on your emotions, are you watchful of them? Are you watchful of those people who are preying on your lockdown fatigue? Are you careful of those hyenas who are attempting at this point of time when you and your families and your loved ones are all connecting and saying, it's been a tough ride, that there are people around you who are coming around and saying, let's just give it all up. Viewers, my hashtag for today is as clearly as I could have said it to any of you. The hashtag today is Stay Strong India. Because the option on the other side, there are a lot of people standing all around who are telling you, do not persist a little more. I'm saying to you today with full confidence, persist a little more. There are people who are coming and telling you, loosen your resolve. And I'm saying to all of you today, tighten your resolve, India. Tighten your resolve. And there are people who are saying, there is no point in being resilient for a few more weeks. And I'm saying to you, people of India, you must be resilient for a few more weeks. You have to be. You have to get yourself ready. The real word I'd like to use today at the start, and I know this is a very long introduction, but let it be. I like to use the word regroup. Organizationally, individually, as a society, we all have to regroup and ready ourselves for the next phase of the COVID battle. There is a section out there which is rubbing its hands at this point of time with elation. You know why? Because they are sniffing a political opportunity. And like vultures, and like hyenas, they are ready to prey on the lockdown fatigue. They are waiting for you to fall so that they prey on you. They want to ensure that India is destabilized, desolated, and in disarray at the most critical juncture of our COVID fight. This cruel, selfish, brigade has been at the forefront of wantonly spreading mistruths, brazenly trying to induce panic, maliciously furthering an anti-India agenda, and some among us who fight them. They try and intimidate us, attack us, and threaten us. Ladies and gentlemen, we know who these vultures are. So this Sunday debate, my question is simple. Are some people trying to prey on a anti-lockdown fatigue or a lockdown fatigue? Hashtag Stay Strong India. Ladies and gentlemen, come together with me. Let's debate. On the one side, Sambit Patra, Mohandas Pai, M.R. Venkatesh, Surabhi Hodigere, Smita Prakash. On the other side, Tanveer Ahmad, Fuad Halim, Abhishek Jha, Manasvi Thapar, Rajiv Desai. The introductions will be on your screen. And let me tell you, we will debate today. We will debate. And we will be brutal today. Brutal today in taking on the people who want to prey on lockdown fatigue. We will be unsparing as we should be. And we will end the debate stronger. Stay strong, India. Who's opening on both sides? Sambit puts his hand up. On the other side. Tanveer puts his hand up. All right. Is there a lobby that is trying to prey on lockdown fatigue? Abhishek also put, but Abhishek, fastest finger first. Tanveer versus Ahmad is the opening round. I'd invite Tanveer versus Sambit is the opening round. And Tanveer, you must understand this. The more you try to prey on lockdown fatigue, the more I will expose you. Please continue.
No, people who are responsible for making this mayhem, let him start. I would ask Mr. Sambit Patra to start so that, you know, I could prepare the knockdown on the basis of he starts. So Sambit ji, I think the ruling party should get an opportunity first.
Okay. I mean, this is a history in itself in Republic debate that we have an opponent, my good friend Tanveer Ahmad, asking me to start. I mean, this is astonishing. Thanks, Mr. Tanveer. And as you would have noted, I am smiling today when we start the debate because this is what we all need to do. Because our smile gives a radiation across the nation. We all need to smile. We all need to infuse some kind of enthusiasm to every household who is watching this show. Number one, remember, it is better to be fatigued than to fall. Remember, when you are most tired, that is the time when you should give the last push because victory is just awaiting you on the other side of the door. Please don't give up. India has done exceedingly well. Look at what other democracies have faced. Look at where America is. More than 80,000 deaths. Look at where Italy is. More than 30,000 deaths. I have been calling my friends in London and they say the official figures that the London authorities are putting up are all bungled. In fact, the real figures are much higher than the official figures in London. So in fact, what India has achieved is something which is neighbors' envy. So for God's sake, let's not pull down India, number one. As far as the naysayers are concerned, I will mince no words. And today I would not be politically correct to state that there is a section in India. And I don't mean that towards Mr. Tanveer Ahmad's party, but of course there is a section in India which is trying its best to see to it that India should have fared badly during this catastrophe, during this pandemic, so that they would have got a political platform, a political opportunity to take on their only enemy. And their enemy is Mr. Narendra Modi. Because through years altogether, through all methods and means, they had failed to take down Narendra Modi. So felt that this pandemic can serve as the best purpose for them to take down the strong man of India. No, I would say take down the strong man of the world today, that is Narendra Modi. And the forefront leading this is the fountainhead, Mrs. Sonia Gandhi. I'm sorry to state, Sonia Gandhi ji has tried her level best to spread all kinds of canards and confusion across the country during this lockdown. Show me a single positive statement by the Congress party, which calls itself the most important opposition party of the country. Day after day, the mother and the son have spread falsities, and falsities. Mr. Arnab Goswami, the other day I was listening to Mr. Rahul Gandhi. He talks about the red zone looks green, the green zone looks red, no one is going to die, but there's 90% people who are going to be saved. There are only some people who are going to die. The first time he held a press conference, he was saying that lockdown is not essential. So what does this man want? He wants confusion on the street. He wants all kind of mayhem to run on the street so that the Congress party can relaunch Mr. Rahul Gandhi. Mr. Rahul Gandhi, a pandemic cannot be your relaunch pad. Remember this right now.
Now, Tanveer will open on his side. Tanveer, remember you're on the back foot. Tanveer, remember the people of India together. Tanveer, remember that we are saying to you, stay strong, India. And India is strong. You need to decide which side that you are on. This is not the time to break people's spirit. Am I correct here, MR? This is not the time to break people's spirit. We are making the gains. We are isolating COVID in order to select hotspots. The country is gradually opening up. Don't look for a political opportunity now, Tanveer.
Anna, my honorable friend Sambit Patra said that he's smiling. I am not smiling because India is not completely smiling. Neo-capitalism might be smiling, but India, the 10 crore people who lost their jobs are not smiling. The agricultural sector, which lost $235 billion, is not smiling. The pregnant women who decided to walk for 2,500 kilometers to reach their destination, they are not smiling. People who are dying on the street much more than COVID are not smiling. The hungry India is not smiling. Let us try to put a smile back on their face. Then you and I do have an opportunity to smile. Now, you think, anybody wants to play politics? Nobody wants a launch pad, whether it is Rahul Gandhi or anybody. The only person who's using this as an opportunity to launch himself bigger and better is nothing but none other than Mr. Narendra Modi ji, who's doing it. If we lose this battle, the states will lose the battle. If the battle is won, Narendra Modi would really come out as a big man saying that I won the battle. We have lost on
again. You are looking at it politically, Tanveer. This is unacceptable. Such a transparent attempt at reducing a national crisis down to politics. I warn you. I warn you against trying to make this purely political. That exactly is your problem and your weakness as well. Tanveer Ahmed, you need to understand it. The agenda is not to be defeatist. 1 minute, Tanveer. Tanveer, you are losing popular support every day because of this kind of position.
It is my time, please.
No, my point to you is very simple. The agenda is not to be defeatist, not to prey on the lockdown fatigue. Yes, there is lockdown fatigue. Let me tell you one thing. Tanveer, wait a minute. Tanveer, wait a minute. Tanveer, wait a minute. Tanveer, wait a minute now. Wait a minute, I said.
We need to put back that smile, Arnab.
Yeah, Tanveer, you know what? Brazen disinformation. Sambit will have one counter punch and then the debate is open. But I'm going to tell you this. Please understand. Arogya Setu. What an app. Social distancing, contact tracing. If we can use this successfully, then this crucial contact tracing app can change the fight against COVID. 1 minute! What have you done except try to induce mass hysteria in the country? That's what you've done. All you've tried to do is induce mass hysteria in the country and you shall fail.
The jobless hands need jobs. The women who are walking for 2,500.
You are sounding like a broken record. You are sounding like a broken record.
Be putting a smile on their faces.
It's my time to counter, and I was thankful. that we were courteous in the beginning.
Let's be courteous now also. I am sounding like a concerned Indian.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Let me, Tanveer bhai, silence for a while. Let me counter in a few seconds. Tanveer bhai, you say that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is trying to see this as an opportunity, trying to forward his agenda over here. Let me tell you what Prime Minister Narendra Modi is doing. I am a young person, as you are also a young person. Arnab is a young person. I envy my Prime Minister because of the fact, look at the man hours he's putting into this work. I mean, days after days, years after years, this man has worked like no one else. For whom? For our country. And you would agree, if we did not have this lockdown, what would have been the consequences? Lakhs of people would have been on the streets today because of the disease. Many would have died. And thankfully, we have controlled it only because of Mr. Narendra Modi's principles, which were started as a lockdown at the right time, number one. Number two, every single section of every strata of the society has been economically cared for. I don't want to revisit the data, but broadly, I would say 40 crore Indians who are below poverty line have got, through the DBT, approximately approximately 35,000 crore rupees in their accounts. To say that the government is not caring for the poor is absolutely welcome and wrong. And number three, look at the evacuation process. While we discuss and debate today on this Sunday, we have the Setu Samudram project, Setu Bharatam project going on. The evacuation through airplanes from all the nations going on, which is called as the Vande Bharat mission. Hundreds and thousands of Indians are being brought to India. Such a mammoth task being done. And you say that nothing is visible to you? Sir, you are blinded by politics. You are blinded by ambition. You are blinded because of the fact that you see this as an opportunity to bring down the government which is doing exceptionally good work. You meaning Rahul Gandhi and the Vadra Congress family.
Now, if I may come in and introduce everyone and welcome everyone into the debate. Everyone feel free to come in. By the way, question is, I have 7 or 8 points to make today. First is, if you are trying to build angst among people, then you must tell us. Tell us that what are we trying to do? We want to build angst among people. We want to make people feel worse. We want to make them feel frustrated. We want to induce panic. We want to bring in mass hysteria. And we want to totally politicize the pandemic. But at least, I say, Smita, at least to these people, I say, at least have the courage to say, yes, this is what we want to do. Don't shoot off the shoulders of the people of India by trying to weaken them. Make it clear we are into politics. We want to build up anger against the lockdown. Say it. And let me throw an open challenge to these people. Let there be two sides in India. Those who want to build anger against the lockdown and those who want to win the battle against COVID. Let's have two sides. Let's see how many people are on which side, Smita. Let there be that open challenge, because if you're preying on lockdown fatigue, you will have to be fought. Smita is opening the debate. Who's coming in on the other side with Smita? I think I saw Abhishek Jha's hand go up earlier. Yes, Smita. Yeah, okay. Smita and Abhishek Jha are on the debate.
Okay. You asked why they are not coming out clear if that's their agenda. The thing is that if there is an insidious political goal, nobody is going to admit that that is what their agenda is. They are going to shoot on the shoulders of those who are miserable right now because of COVID. I sit somewhere in between what Sambit and Tanveer were saying. I don't see ourselves as victorious. I think we are, that's the word that Sambit used. I don't see ourselves as victorious at this stage, but I don't even see I think Tanveer used the word neo-capitalist smiling. I don't think we are at this stage where anybody is smiling and saying, yeah, we've done a fabulous job. Of course, we have done a good job compared to what people at the Cassandras had said, that we're going to have 1 million deaths by May 1st. That didn't happen. And there are many who are disappointed with that fact. There are many who wake up in the morning, and this depressingly, the fact is that there are many journalists who sit abroad, from Indian origin I might say, who sit every morning or every night their time and just start Googling to see what are the depressing images that are coming out of India or the depressing statistics. And then they start tweeting, putting on Facebook and things like that. The fact is that we have done tremendous job in trying to beat and cope with COVID. We are doing 95,000 tests a day, which is phenomenal. So the numbers are going to rise. We have 8,000 plus hospitals for COVID. That is again with over 1.6 million beds, I think is the capacity that we have today. Imagine a developing country like ours has managed to build this capacity while keeping the fatality rate low. The mortality today, I think we have 2,000 or something who are, and it's nothing compared to what was expected. But with the migrants who are going back, states like Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, these are states which lack primary healthcare facilities, and health experts are worried because we don't have the capacity to manage this. If the pandemic is going to go to the rural areas, right now 80% of the pandemic is restricted to the urban centers. If it goes to the rural centers, we will have difficulty on our hands. But that doesn't mean that we are going to just say, hi, ye toba, ye kya ho gaya. You know, the fact is that what has happened with the migrants going back is not a happy picture. The state chief ministers, the center, everybody is to blame about the pathetic way we have handled our migrant crisis. It should not have happened. At the same time, one should give credit to the Vande Bharat mission, the way everybody is being brought back on this massive scale. No other country has,
Smita,
has brought about people.
Smita,
out
I
on this
have a
massive
very
scale that
different
we are
take on the
bringing
migrants
back,
issue, as you know.
seeing that quarantine
No,
facilities are made
Smita, if I may
available.
intervene, because I want to settle this migrant issue once and for all.
That's fine.
I have a different take on it, and let me explain why. Let me explain why. At the first stage of lockdown 1 and 2, it would have been disastrous.
If you'd like
1
to
minute,
hear, then I'll
please.
speak.
1 minute, please. At the first phase, Abhishek, wait a minute. At the first phase of lockdown 1 and 2, it would have been absolutely disastrous to let the migrants go home. So whoever is saying migrants should have been sent home in 1 and 2 has not done any primary homework. Has not done any primary homework. And I think it's ridiculous to do that. Just go and ask places which were green zones in the northeastern part of India, which have become orange zones now. Let's go and ask them today. Why don't you go and ask Assam? Guwahati was a green zone, it's now become an orange zone. Ask them how many migrants would have been brought back and whether that's an intervening factor or not. I don't believe in being politically correct about it. You let migrants move all over the country at a time when containment is to be the issue, then you're trying to be politically correct, but you're risking the health of the people of this country. And nothing is worth that risk. Second point, I was asked, India is smiling. Tanveer made that comment, Mohandas Pai, India is smiling. I am saying yes, India is smiling because nearly 1.4 lakh migrant workers have reached their home states in 302 Shramik trains. Tanveer Ahmed and people like him don't take Shramik trains. Yes, India is smiling. Wait a minute. Have the courage to listen. I will pulverize you bit by bit and guillotine you in the course of the debate. Please wait. My second point is,
I don't know what is the percentage.
second point is India is smiling because 6.75 lakh migrant workers have received shelter and food in 21,486 homes set up by states and union territories. Yes, despite the doomsday predictions for Indian economy, India is expected to grow around 2% during the current fiscal. America is degrowing by 20%, minus 20%. Ask Mohandas Pai. And you know what? India is smiling because 490 Lifeline Udan flights have been operated till date to ensure continuous supply of essential and medical supplies across the country. No country in the world, I repeat, has done something at this scale. Shame on you, Tanveer, for being a prophet of doom at a time like this. No country in the world has achieved this. This is called what Mohandas Pai would call in business terms scalability. We've shown the ability to operate at scale. People like you, the microcosmic political vultures of this country, Tanveer, are the ones who will lose at the end of it. Mohandas Pai is on the debate. Mohandas Pai, stay strong, India. Yeah.
Arnab, let me give some data to settle the debate. India has done very well. The USA has 4,000 people infected per million population. 250 people per million population are dead. India has only 50 people per million population infected, and 1.5 persons per million population are dead. The greatest country in the world, the strongest economy in the world, if you take their standard, India should have had about 5 million infected and maybe about India should have had 350,000 people dying. That would be the standard of the US. Now the greatest country, the richest country, the most, $21 trillion economy has run so badly. And India, which is only a $3 trillion economy with $2,000 per capita against America's $55,000, has such low numbers. Now we must say that we have done very well and congratulate the Prime Minister and the government, all state governments and the Prime Minister and the government. Please keep quiet.
Let him finish.
Now,
let Mohandas Pai finish.
One more question. Mr.
Tanveer,
No, 1 second.
Tanveer,
Mr. Pai
I know
is a
data
good
better
friend
than
of
you.
mine,
Tanveer,
honorable
please
man.
keep
I
quiet.
respect him, sir.
He knows economy better than you. Well said.
Tell me
Tanveer,
how many people
Tanveer,
in
please
India
keep
have
quiet.
lost the job.
Tanveer is asking you to keep quiet.
Please keep quiet.
2,500
Tanveer,
kilometers in America.
Tanveer, don't get excited.
Tell me how many people are
Tanveer,
walking
please keep quiet.
2,500 kilometers in
Tanveer,
America.
be quiet. Tanveer, the country
Stop
wants you to be
shouting,
quiet.
Tell me how many people are walking 2,500 kilometers in America.
Tanveer, will you please shut up? Will you please shut up for a while, please. There's no way to debate. Okay, I kept quiet when you are speaking your venom. Okay, just shut up. Now, Arnab, There is pain among people. There is pain. Now, we could have done better in giving
will
support
take
to the
it from you.
poor,
I will
in
take it
giving
from you,
rations to the
Mohan. I
poor.
will
We could have
take it
done.
from you.
Will yeah, please keep quiet. I'm not disturbing you. Please keep quiet. I know you very well. Please keep quiet. Now, many people are in trouble because we are not provided support to them. It's a gigantic task. And I think society has come together. Akshay Patra has delivered 4 crore meals. Let us say that 4 crore meals, yes, some people are in pain. Some people are trying to walk back because they don't have support. We must give them support. The state, the center, and people like Tanveer should also go out and give them food, give them support, instead of coming here and abusing people and saying, oh, India has done badly. There's a tendency among all these people to downgrade India, to abuse India always, instead of working to make India better, to give food to all these people, to embrace them, not literally get the distance, and tell them, we support you. Let us work together as a community. We are saving lives. For the first time in this country in 60 years, our focus of government has been on saving lives for large numbers. If things go out of control, India will be out of control. There will be thousands of people dying every day. That is not what we want. So this lockdown has worked. Government policy has worked. Yes, there is pain. There are people who lost their jobs. We must give them support. We must have more stimulus to give it to them. But we must keep them under lockdown till such time we all feel safe.
Like a gentle tsunami on this Sunday afternoon, the hashtag Stay Strong India is being used as of this minute by so many people across India. Stay strong, India. Let's fight these people back. Tanveer got a heart attack, MR, when I told him, I see, Manasvi, don't worry, we have time. You know, when we decide to win, we win with ease. You've decided to lose. You are on the wrong side, it's not my fault. Now we will win with ease. Ease. Look at the arguments presented so far by Mohandas Pai, Smita and Sambit Patra. You know, my friend Tanveer Ahmed is flapping like a cloth in a breeze today. He doesn't know which way because he doesn't decide the direction of the breeze.
He's taking all the bashing on behalf
there are others who want to take the bashing as well, but bash on regardless. Bash on regardless. Bash on. Bash on. Now we say we are smiling. Yes, we are strong, so we smile. Let me tell you, Tanveer, we are strong. We are made of steel. We become stronger through adversity. We don't bend. You understand? We galvanize ourselves into action. That's what India has done. You know, on employment and employability, 1 minute. Where's Rajiv Desai disappeared here on the program? I wanted him. Abhishek Jha, you know something? Do you ever think about what all has been done? Do you say thank you? Have you said thank you ever in your life? I was always told, someone does something good for you, someone helps you, say thank you. That's all. Nothing more, right, MR? Just thank you. So I said today that we are smiling. The Union Labour and Employment Ministry is working 24/7 as of this minute to work a roadmap to minimize the lockdown's impact on workers and the economy. People like you, Abhishek, are only abusing. The government has taken recommendations from multiple employment organizations and is going to implement this to the T. People like Tanveer Ahmed are only criticizing. Why? People are reaching home. Migrants are getting shelter. Economy is not as bad as it seems. Resources are being supplied all over the country. Our Navy personnel, our Air India, today I got news that Air India, five personnel of Air India have got COVID, but they brought people back. I feel so proud. Do you ever feel proud, Abhishek? Tell me, do you feel proud? What makes you proud? Let me ask you. Does the 51-year-old Rahul Gandhi coming and suddenly speaking to a permanent critic in Chicago, does that make you proud? Or do the Navy personnel make you proud? Do the people who are working on the ground make you proud? Or does Sonia Gandhi and Tonia Maino constantly coming and giving negativity on the lockdown make you proud? Does pushing paranoia make you proud? Or do the forces make you proud? Choose today. What makes you proud? Because as far as we're concerned, we're going to win this, Abhishek. Now you can speak and then MR will come in and respond to you. Come on, Abhishek. Give it your best shot. Let's see how far it goes.
The exact thing is, we are really proud to be Indians, and we are really proud of all the Corona warriors who are giving their lives, who are risking their lives just to help the nation and to help the patients who are into this thing. Arnab, let me make it very clear. We never thought of politicizing this event ever.
But you did it.
Whenever our state's chief minister or the nation's prime minister announced this kind of lockdown, our entire party, although we were in opposition, but then also we supported in every possible way. We even supported them in their Thali Bajao event. We also encouraged people around us that this can be the method of winning such a disease which can be fatal for so many people. But you can witness one thing. While announcing the first lockdown or the second lockdown, PM came in front of the people. But while announcing the third lockdown, a letter was just issued by the government. People are losing hope.
So that's
See,
your...
we are not politicizing this event.
Well, people
We
are not losing hope.
criticizing
I'll
that
tell you what.
PM is
No,
not
people
working
are tired, but they
the
are not
important
losing
thing
hope.
we
No,
want to
people are
mention is
exhausted,
that
but they are not losing hope. People are re-galvanizing. No, you are the one. You prove to me that people are losing hope. Prove to me now. MRE will have to prove before he makes a statement like that. Prove to me that people are losing hope. Prove to me.
Need the proper decentralization.
Give me the proof.
No.
I need proof. It cannot be your surmise, my friend. It cannot be your statement, and I will not let you get away with that, because what you're trying to do is that you're trying to break people's spirit. MR, Abhishek is trying to break people's spirit. Our recovered cases are almost half the active ones. No. Our daily spike is decreasing.
Proverb in Hindi that आगे कुआं and पीछे खाई. सिर मुलाते ही ओले पड़ना. The simple thing is that we are distancing ourselves from a volcano. That's very good. But in the meanwhile, it seems as if we will be
okay, we'll let MR have a go.
Now listen to this.
A tsunami.
Now let us see.
Crores of people losing their jobs.
Now see, the fact of the matter is you can compare Mylapore with Singapore and come to a proper conclusion as to what India has achieved and what India has not
What is also on the
achieved.
debate.
That is a city state of 4 million people.
Other nations,
And that state has got more number of COVID than the entire India of 1.3 billion people. Now what do people like Tanvir and others want? They want to see
for the migrants, for the laborers, for the poor people who are losing their jobs, for the small scale industries, for the large scale industries, which are interlinked with each other.
MR.
Hello?
Why didn't you?
Yes, Arnab, I'm speaking. And I would like Abhishek to keep quiet. And let me tell you that Abhishek, you want 5 crore body bags. And less than 5 crore body bags doesn't suit your agenda. Unfortunately or fortunately, that is not happening. And today the government of the day, both the center and the state, have come together to ensure that we are giving a tremendous response to this COVID. We all know it is a huge task, given our handicaps, given our problems.
See,
but
if I speak
the
about
way we
my
have
own
fought,
state, my
the government
chief minister is always
please listen,
although
please listen, have the courtesy, otherwise you will have the same Mohandas Pai treatment to Tanvir. I will have to use the same language what Mohandas ji used against Tanvir. So keep quiet, listen to it. I listen to you.
The exact thing is,
Everyone on.
I just raised the question. I want that answer, na?
Listen to this, that Sir Abhishek ji, listen to this. That the Indian spirit is not daunted one wee bit. Indian spirit has risen. There have been charities, there have been people who have come together. The social infrastructure of this country is so strong. Civilizationally, we are so strong. The government has done its bit. The corporates have done their bit. Everybody is doing their bit. These are troubled times. We all understand that. But these are not a time to be, throw out the towel and say in despite that, aage khai, piche kuwa, all this rubbish. We are a country which needs to be positive at this time. We are at a stage where we are flattening the curve.
Because you are just insensitive. You are not concerned with the deaths in the entire country. How the laborers are losing their lives. How they have to walk so many kilometers.
Since he's lying, I will have to ask him. 1 minute. Abhishek a minute. Sambit wants to come in as well, but Abhishek a minute. Manaswi is on the debate with Surabhi right now so that everyone gets their turn and then it's an open debate. Wait a minute. Manaswi and Surabhi. Sambit, wait a minute. Everyone, we've got time. The entire country is with us on the debate right now. The debate is trending. I mean, we have the time. Don't run. We are not going to let you run away anyway. Now,
where has Rajiv Vadra gone, by the way? Where is Rajiv Vadra? I cannot see him.
Rajiv Desai is bandwidth is having a problem. I'm going to try and get him back, and so is Fuad Halim. Now I want to ask you, Manaswi. Someone told me the food. Wait a minute, yaar. Manaswi and Surabhi are on the debate. The Food Corporation of India has actually loaded a total of 2,641 rakes. It's a record number. You know, and you know how much that amounts to? 74 lakh metric tons of food grains. Food grain distribution is increasing so rapidly. This was our #1 challenge. Does it make you smile, Manaswi? You should be happy. Look at you. You look like, something terrible. I relate some terrible news to you. What's the problem? No, why are you looking so downcast when I told you about the record availability of food grain?
And let me just complete.
Why are you?
Just give me some.
No, you've come with a prepared speech of negativities. But Surabhi, shouldn't he be smiling first and congratulating the Food Corporation of India, the farmers of India, and the supply chains of India for achieving that?
You are not letting me speak. I am so happy. I am so happy for this debate.
Yeah, sure, you look happy, don't you?
The fact that India is moving strong. We are smiling. We all are proud Indians that we are in a country headed by the Prime Minister. We had the largest lockdown. Everything is perfect. But we have some pertaining questions.
You're looking disturbed.
We have the right to ask some questions and we have a right to discuss. That is what I'm asking you. Give me 2 minutes uninterrupted.
No, you want to make a speech, but I'm asking you one thing. Tell me before you make your speech. Our recovered rate.
I don't want to make a speech.
Our recovered rate. Wait a minute. Logically speaking, Surabhi. See, it's a debate. You know, if everybody comes here, makes a speech, that's not pointless. Our recovered cases are almost half the amount of total active cases which have touched a certain number. Now, is there a synchronized conspiracy to undo this success in the coming days by topping into the lockdown fatigue? I am told, Surabhi, that there is a group of people who sit every day saying, before India succeeds, let us do one last shot at making things go in the opposite direction. I've been informed that there are groups of people, MR, who sit and do that on a daily basis. Sambit is also on the debate. I want to ask them, why? Why do you do that?
There cannot be anyone who would do that.
There are people who do it.
Any Indian who would want Indians to die. Only thing is when we ask questions, we are happy that we have a Prime Minister like Narendra Modi. We are very happy that the lockdown happened. The entire country supported. Now there are questions. When we ask questions, you say that there's a lobby.
You ask questions, but give me a few seconds, Manasvi, and then you ask questions. First, I need to reply to the Gadha Kuan Khai thing. First, let me reply to the Kuan Khai thing. Someone was saying आगे कुआं पीछे खाई.
Sambit ji, मेरे को भी बोलने दीजिए, फिर आप मेरे पे.
अच्छा, okay, Sambit, let him have his say. Sambit, to be fair, let him have his say and then you respond. Yeah, go on.
अच्छा, ठीक है, Manasvi ji बोल.
Stay strong, India viewers. The debate
Sambit ji,
is on.
the chairperson of National Disaster Management Act is the Prime Minister. There is a communication gap between the West Bengal Chief Minister and the Prime Minister. And though I say categorically that the problem is with the West Bengal Chief Minister, but it is the duty of the central government to make sure that the West Bengal people are happy. Now, for a moment, we have around 60,000 plus cases. If this lockdown would have been announced a month earlier, we would have had less number of cases. We would have been much more prouder of everything. The Delhi government announced a lockdown, a smaller lockdown on 5th March. 15th March, the Goa Chief Minister announced the lockdown. 17th March, the UP Chief Minister announced the lockdown. 13th March, the Punjab Chief Minister announced the lockdown.
I've got the chronology. Now let me answer.
If we would have this lockdown earlier, we may have missed what we may have missed would be the Tablighi event. We may have missed the Madhya Pradesh government being formed. We may have missed the Namaste Trump event. But we would have saved 60,000 cases. We would have lesser number of cases. We would have saved the migrant issues. We would have saved the agricultural crisis.
1 minute. Before Sambit continues, I want to make an observation. Since today, on this Sunday, I want to keep making observations. Manasvi, first of all, happiness when it comes from within expresses itself in joy and a big smile. You are looking so worried. Now, you are propelling the Western media agenda. What you are doing is trying to...
I am sitting in Ahmedabad at the hottest spot of India.
No, I am sitting in Mumbai, which is hotter than the hottest spot of India. But still, I am willing to fight. I'm not like you. 1/5 of India's cases is from Mumbai. I'm not like you. We will fight and win this.
We have the right to ask some pertinent questions to
Of course you do. Of course you do.
I'll answer your every question.
Okay, everyone wants to come in.
Then I'll answer.
I am sad that what is happening in Ahmedabad.
Mr. Goswami, since you
what
have,
happened in Surat, the conditions of
Mr.
migrant
Goswami,
laborers.
Since you have allowed me to answer, now Manasi Bhai, allow me a few seconds. First, I will have a take
The
on that.
modern day slavery, what we are seeing in India. That should
Yeah,
stop.
I'll answer each. I have noted down your questions, Manasi Bhai. Since you're happy, I'll answer that. These are happy hours, Manasi. Don't worry. This is happy hours of Sunday. I'm going to give you all answers. You know. Number one, as far as आगे कुआं पीछे खाई is concerned, let me answer that by saying आगे कुआं पीछे खाई गड्ढा खोद रही है एंटोनियो ताई. ये सारा गड्ढा एंटोनियो ताई का खोदा हुआ है. लॉकडाउन हुआ तो क्यों हो गया? नहीं हुआ था तो पहले होना चाहिए था 1 महीने पहले. Yesterday, in fact, we had Rahul Gandhi coming out and saying that lockdown was of no use. Remember, no use, because this is not so deadly a disease. We have to get used to it. Only a few people will die, and it's 90% of people will be saved. That was what Rahul Gandhi was saying, number one. Number two, Mr. Ahmed, in fact, Sir Tanveer Ahmed, said that 10 crore migrants are there. So what if we had only a paltry few returning to their home? Tanveer ji, with all due respect and with a scientific bent of mind, let me tell you that the government of India does not want all these 10 crore workers to go to their native states, because none of us want doom to start in their respective states. We respect everyone. Just look at what is happening between Punjab and Maharashtra. Both are non-BJP states. Punjab Chief Minister is blaming the Maharashtra Chief Minister for having not taken...
Sambit, complete your point fast. Before it's back on the debate, we got a lot of others. Understood. Let's make the debate move faster right now. Surbi wants to come in with a point right now. Surbi, Hodigere, making an opening remark with Fuad Halim. Surbi and Fuad, come on now. Surbi and Fuad, Sambit, come on now. You also stop making speeches. Surbi and Fuad, stay strong. India is the debate. Surbi.
Journalists also.
Surbi, make your point to Fuad.
Arnab, 3 quick points.
Make
Arnab.
1 point each, so Fuad responds to each.
Points,
you don't make 3 points. 1 minute. Make 1 point.
Sure.
Fuad responds.
Sir,
Second point. Fuad responds. Go on.
This is. Got it. Fuad sir, this is absolutely a state that is unprecedented. This is a war, if I could have the liberty to call it as is. When the country is under attack, in this case under attack by a virus, is everybody not supposed to stand behind absolutely, completely? Is that not true? If so, why are you picking on small issues, not giving any constructive feedback, picking on small issues and trying to pull the country down? When everybody is saying that we are staying strong, Arnab, it's not just you today on this debate. Every single person in this country facing all sorts of difficulties are saying that we are going to stay strong. This is our civilizational ethos, sir. This is our community strength. When something difficult comes our way, we stand up strong and say we can do this. I know there are tough situations. Of course, I'm privileged. I'm sitting comfortably. There are migrant workers facing difficulties.
It is
but
not the case,
as a community, we are coming together. As a country, we are coming together. The opposition should not
families who are deprived are not like that.
At this point
you just cannot say like that. You just cannot come to a conclusion of that sort. You have no rights.
What am I saying wrong? Please
tell
me, what am I saying wrong?
In spite of
may I just ask this question? I want to ask, what is this hashtag
have you made any kind of survey of that sort?
How rigged and privileged is that?
Everyone is saying that we are standing so strong. If a person loses his life,
sir,
if anyone in the society loses his life, or if any family lives in the deprived state, they have the right to say that no, they are not happy. No, they are not happy. While trying to escape from a sort of volcano, they are trapped in some kind of tsunami for their sustenance. You have to answer.
We are fighting strong. That is what we are
Surbi
fighting.
ji,
I want to ask another question.
Surbi ji, it's a very lame statement made by you. If the people of this nation want to support the migrants, the people of this nation also support it. Main hu chowkidar. The country was proud to be chowkidar. The country is proud to be with the migrants.
We want every single person in this country to be
with the migrants? the lowest level of the people who need our support right now. If the country is trying to support them, you are telling that we are trying to play politics. No one is playing politics. We are just saying we are sympathetic. We need to show empathy to these kind of people. They need us the most during these times.
Solutions that can be
stay at our homes. They don't have homes.
We
say we have food. They may not have food. They don't have
are you
any
accepting
relief. They need
migrant
to be at
workers
home.
from across the country?
After 30-35 days, the train started.
Of course,
we
sir.
Need them.
Please, Arnab.
We need them for economic.
Of course, after
Arnab, may I just say?
No, 1 second. I'd like Smita also to come in on this. I'm sick and tired of this whole.
They are Indians. Have some respect for migrant laborers.
1 minute.
We are sitting in our AC rooms.
Manaswi, wait a minute, yaar. Wait a minute. I have a simple question to ask you. You said, and Smita will respond to you in detail, that migrant workers were allowed to move after 30-35 days. Do you have any idea that if they had been allowed to move earlier, what chaos would have been spread in the country? Second point, and everyone needs to come in.
Yeah.
Second point, Randeep Guleria, head of AIMS, has said that based on modeling data, June and July will be the peak. Now, you want us to give up containment today? You know, if we give up containment today, Smita, if we give in to this group, if we don't stay strong, if we give up on our containment measures, then all hell is going to break loose. Smita, these people, Rahul Gandhi will live in a secure home.
Yeah.
Sonia Gandhi will have everything done for her in Janpath. But the question is, the rest of the country will not be safe. I don't think it's worth the risk. It's elementary. Smita, Tanveer, Mohandas Pai, MR, everyone's got to come in. Smita.
Arnab, you just pointed out. Arnab, you just pointed out what Manasvi had said. He said that lockdown should have been done earlier, where Amrinder Singh announced one day, the other chief minister announced one day. That's not true. When Mr. Modi announced the lockdown, at that time it was considered a very harsh measure.
Yes, it was criticized for being harsh.
Across the country who said, oh my God, this was too sudden. This should not have been done. Even around the world, people said that this was too harsh for a 1.2 billion population. The fact is, whether it was a chance decision, whether it was a well thought out move, whatever it is, it worked. The extension of the lockdown was left to the states to decide. Now, in that manner also, if you see, Rahul Gandhi had said one size doesn't fit all. Why is the Prime Minister taking the decision for the rest of the country? Every state should take their own decision. So the Prime Minister and the centre said, fine, you take the decision. And then the state said, okay, we want the extension to be done. Some states said no, partial extension. Some said that we want these zonings to be done, which I think is a crazy idea anyway. But anyway, some states said we want the zoning done. So this is the federal structure of India, and it worked. The point is, it worked.
And if he wants to, Smita, furthermore,
together, in most cases, just in
no, 1 minute. Smita will respond.
What chief ministers to do is to put their ego aside.
Wait a minute.
To put their egos aside and cooperate with the centre.
Brilliant.
Ask for help where they need it.
Point.
Whether it is West Bengal, whether it is Maharashtra, ask for help. If you are not able to cope with the current crisis, if your numbers are rising and you are overwhelmed, ask the centre for help. Swallow your egos as chief ministers and say that we need more help.
Well said. Before Tanveer, you respond, one small point. Understand the two states we are very concerned about, Maharashtra and Bengal. You want to criticize governments? Please have the heart to criticize the Sonia Sena government in Maharashtra. Point number 2. Today, go on the streets of Mumbai. Appears to be no lockdown. Life is going on fine. There are crowds, I understand. Whereas I know that there are state governments, I think there are state governments which have said on Sundays will remain closed. Look at Mumbai. It's 1/5 of the cases in India. Go on the streets of Mumbai. You know, it's good to be theoretical. Ask Uddhav Thackeray, where is your lockdown? Go to Borivali. Go to Lower Parel. Go to Malad. Where is the lockdown? People are moving on. People are hunky-dory. Everything's fine. Where is the tough governance required? You don't have a tough government. Why? You look at the situation in Bengal. How many people have been categorized under ILI, influenza-like illnesses? How much transparency is there in the nature of disclosures in Bengal? So you want to question governments, Manasvi, question Bengal, question Maharashtra, and ask yourself why in these, and Smita is right, you can't handle it. You can't handle it. Admit you can't handle it.
Definitely, I am the first person.
No, don't do that. No.
I said in the previous.
Now Mohandas Pai's turn. Mohandas Pai's been waiting quietly. Mohandas Pai to Manasvi, please. Mohandas Pai. Manasvi, hand it over to Mohandas Pai.
Arnab, I want to say my state of Karnataka has done very well. About 750 cases. We have a chief minister who is very tough, who has taken decisions. We have a state where the bureaucrats and civil society are working together. All of us are working to give them meals, to provide for the migrants, etc. And the thing is working well. Every state government should learn from Karnataka, should learn from Kerala. The Kerala chief minister is on record that he doesn't want NRIs to come into Kerala because it will be a problem. He's also scared if people come from outside, they could contaminate. And he said, we'll put you under quarantine for 14 days. So I think chief ministers of every state should take it because it's passed from the nation to the chief to every state, and every state is like a big country. Now, for people to go on pointing to prime minister, say prime minister did this thing is rubbish, total rubbish. Because the chief ministers are in control, they have to do it. And if people don't obey the chief minister and don't obey the diktat, he has to take action. Look at what is happening in Bengal. Bengal is like become like a country on its own. They don't want to listen. They want to rebel for no reason. And sadly, the people of Bengal will pay the price. And look at in Maharashtra. Maharashtra is a matter of deep concern. Bombay is a matter of concern.
Very deep concern.
Bombay is 8% of India's GDP. We want Bombay to do well. We want Bombay as a financial capital. Bombay should be very strong. And if Bombay does not do well, India will suffer. Look at Delhi, where Kejriwal is there. Delhi has got a very large amount of contamination and, people are getting the disease. Delhi has to take steps to make sure. And we are in the midst of a religious festival where the Muslim community should stand up and say, we want to be safe. We don't want to move around and we don't want to contaminate. It's not about you are getting the infection. It's about you are passing on. You have no right to pass it on to anybody. If you want to take the infection, you do what you want with your life. But you can't infect anybody else. And that is the key. And that is public policy. And that's what we should do. And that is what we should enforce. And people must understand that if they infect anybody else, they are guilty of a crime. So they got to be very careful.
Most of
and
the chief ministers have supported
and saying, let loose everybody.
I also want to warn everyone tonight, statutory warning from my side.
Arnab,
this afternoon. Wait a minute, Tanveer.
Arnab, I think you gave me some time and then
I've given you enough time, but I have not dealt with you well enough because you need to be treated with a little more directly. Now let me tell you, Tanveer, about who you are representing.
It's all right,
Tanveer, you are not representing the JDS today on my program. You are representing the Western media. And let me explain to you why. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Everyone's on. You see, New York Times, this unbearably illiterate rag, first put out articles saying Modi is a dictator, terrible lockdown, migrant crisis, things are bad, India will starve to death. Now they put out one article, this is fantastic, MR. Why is India loosened its lockdown? Because it's loosened the lockdown, people will die. And the latest article says, as India loses its strict lockdown, deaths will jump sharply. I mean, what do you want? I mean, do they not believe in something called Google search? That I can search out what they said 10 days back? They're shameless. And I want my friend Tanveer to stop joining the shameless gang. You see, now people are saying, no, let me tell you. At the lobby, millions of Indians being forced to download the country's coronavirus tracking app. It is a line no other democracy has yet crossed in the fight against COVID. These idiots don't know that there are similar apps in their own country, the United States, and in the UK, and in South Korea as well. Where do they come from, these fools? Please tell me, where do they come from? Singapore, South Korea uses similar technologies. Why United Kingdom puts out similar technologies? What is the agenda? Now we need to take on these people as well, MR. Who are these people? What do they want? They want India to become weaker. I'll tell you why. Because if the Indian economy becomes stronger, if our military industrial complex becomes stronger, if our domestic production remains high, and if we swerve while others fall, then the entire global order, MR, remember, will change after this. China and India will emerge as two robust economies. Western Europe and America will fail. 2 years of tottering for Western Europe and America will ensure that the gap is closed. I think there's a big strategic impact of the COVID situation that we are not reading yet, MR. And that's why I tell people like Tanvi, don't fall prey into their hands. Come on. Are you with India or against India? MR.
I think you asked the question to me and you have shifted your...
No, I asked the question to you.
You don't want me to answer, do you?
I want you to understand more than answer.
No, you asked a lengthy question and now you want my friend, honorable friend MR to answer. Fine, after MR, I would please give me an opportunity, please.
Since MR is not able to listen to the question, can I come in?
Yeah, you are always ready to come in, Sambit. Yeah, come in.
Yeah, of course. We should always be ready to debunk this falsity.
Before Sambit,
Number one, Mr.
Tanveer.
Tanveer.
Okay, Tanveer goes first.
No, just a second.
Tanveer goes first.
He is allowed. I am representing MR. It is not Sambit Patra speaking.
No, I didn't refuse.
So please allow me a few seconds and then you can rebut. Number one, Mr. Goswami, on an extreme
this is really not done. Arnab speaks behalf of you. Sambit speaks behalf of Arnab. I think I should get a small opportunity
for the
country. Let's not waste time. Let me just be quick. Mr. Goswami, on an extremely serious note, I'm not addressing this to just Tanveer. I'm addressing this to the nation, in fact, to you. I mean, just look at the responsibility of India's opposition, particularly the Congress party, coming to the television and discouraging Indians to download the Arogya Setu app, discouraging Indians to contribute to PM CARES. Can you think of anything more irrational than this? I mean, this is the absolutely, I would say, irresponsible behavior of the Indian opposition. I mean, why is Arogya Setu so important? It is important because it is almost akin to a personal bodyguard for each one of us. It is using technology with scientific temperament so that we can save ourselves, we can save our nation, and we can save this country from the pandemic. But look at what Mr. Rahul Gandhi says and what Randeep Surjewala was saying in the press conference the other day, that we are not going to download the app and we discourage others to do so. And the ones who have not contributed a single penny to PM CARES, एक फूटी कौड़ी इस गांधी परिवार ने दिया नहीं है, पूरा देश को लूटा है. इनको हिसाब चाहिए. लोगों ने करोड़ों खरबों दे दिए, उनको हिसाब नहीं चाहिए.
Thank you, Sambit.
They know.
Thank you, Sambit. I think the point is well made. Sambit, question is, and I'd like Smita to come on with Tanveer after that. You see, to launch a non-cooperation movement, to want the lockdown to fail. Sambit, listen.
Sambit,
don't complain. I mentioned you, but I am also. I have a right to speak. I have a right to speak. People want to hear me a little bit more than you, Tanveer. 1 minute. 1 second. See, the question is, the message from the world is very clear, Tanveer. Successful lockdown is the only way to fight the pandemic. I am only asking you to choose today. You want to be on the side of people who want the lockdown to fail? Choose. I want to see how many people vote for you after this. If you continue to trod the beaten line of the Vadra Congress, you will not get half a vote in Bengaluru next time. Now continue. At your own peril. Smita will respond to you. Yeah, Mohandas Pai is having a good time. Yeah.
Let me answer Sambit in his.
Win the election next time.
Let me answer Sambit in his own language. पोंछकर अश्क अपनी आंखों से मुस्कुराओ तो कोई बात बने, सर झुकाने से कुछ नहीं होता, सर उठाओ तो कोई बात बने.
कोई context नहीं है.
I think
there is no context to your shairi. This is like one of the Sidhuisms. This is a Sidhuism.
Arnab, 1 second. Arnab,
this is a Sidhuism.
कैसे मुस्कुराते हैं बताओ जरा. दिखाओ आंखों से कैसे मुस्कुराते हैं.
Whatever it is. Arnab, listen. We were always standing pro lockdown, but the unplanned lockdown absolutely have caused mayhem. Arnab, let us really not close our eyes. Let us not take away our eyes from the suffering laborers. Let us not take away our eyes from pregnant
1 minute. Smita, 1 minute. Smita on the left. No. What do you mean unplanned? The Prime Minister spoke to all Chief Ministers. The Prime Minister had 4 rounds with all Chief Ministers before that. No, you please. What was unplanned about it? It was done in consultation. It was a collaborative process. It was a discussion between state and central governments. It was a celebration of our federal spirit. There were multiple level meetings. There were discussions with the bureaucrats. There were discussions with individual ministers handling every department. There were logistical conversations that happened. You can't jump the ship right now. You want to jump the ship? This was done in consultation with the state governments. Don't lie on television. Don't lie. Don't lie.
Unplanned way which was done by this
There's nothing unplanned about it.
Now today, see
Viewers,
what
I
is happening
caution
with
you
the
against
rails.
these kind of people.
They said that they are going to really
What
put
could
the
have
people
been
back to
planned?
Bengal.
Did
They don't
anybody
want to
know
do it.
COVID would
Biharis
happen?
are suffering here in Karnataka.
Yeah,
and
what is
Bangalore.
planned?
Nobody want to really talk about it.
What is planned in this? Did
Smita.
anybody know
If at all
COVID
you
would
have
hit?
concern, that is called
Did the
planning.
Gowdas know that
That is
that
called
COVID would
planning.
hit?
If at all you discuss it, you don't
Only
behave like
Tanveer
a
and his
single man
political
leader.
party
That's
knew that
called
COVID is
planning.
going to happen. The rest of the world didn't know, but Mr. Gowda knew that there is going to be COVID, and he would have had a plan of action ready for the whole country had he been Prime Minister.
You
I
are
cannot
not going to
understand
digest your
how
food without talking
it was
about
the
Gowdas.
virus which came
Your
and
food
hit the
wouldn't be
rest of the
digested
world.
unless you
No
don't speak about
Prime
Gowdas.
Minister, no president anywhere in the country has been able to do a planned. Come on, for heaven's sake, everybody moved on a day-to-day basis in trying to cope with COVID. You know, Tanveer used to come out here and say, hi Tauba, about farmers. Farmers are dying. Farmers are dying. Every debate of yours, he came, farmers are dying. Then you showed mandis are operating, the food grains are coming. Now suddenly you see Tanveer is not talking about the farmer. Now migrants are dying. Every single debate, people are dying. Enough, Tanveer. Of course, what has happened with the migrants is something none of us are proud about. But had the migrants left in the first week of the lockdown, if they had started walking towards their villages, it would have been terrible. What has happened to the migrants is that it has opened the eyes of all administrators across the country that we have absolutely been blind to the condition of our migrant workers in our cities. They live in deplorable conditions, and once COVID is over, every administrator, every chief minister, every prime minister, every IAS officer has to work towards having a better social network for social security network for our migrant workers in every city, town and village of our country. This is nonsense to say that this is a chaotic situation and a mayhem in this country. There is no mayhem. 2,000 people dying of COVID in this country is not mayhem. And do not be somebody who's all the time saying hi tauba in every debate.
No, I'll tell you what was unplanned. 1 minute, Tanveer, 1 minute. Tanveer, I agree with you. 1 minute, Tanveer.
People are not going to have roti is mayhem. People who are walking down is mayhem. That's exactly the mayhem. 2,000 people of COVID is not a mayhem. Yes, that's the point I'm also making.
And you want to hear the point, then if you want to hear the point, then I'll tell you. People like you ought to start getting punished now. People like you start to out facing prosecution, because in Russia, people who have led protests against Russia's lockdown were fined and jailed. We should also start doing the same thing, MR. In UK, which is a great democracy, an activist who was spreading conspiracy theories about 5G and vaccines causing COVID and protesting against lockdown laws was arrested for defiance. I think UK is a great democracy. In Thailand, 2 people were arrested for putting false information about the outbreak of novel coronavirus. We should take similar action. Why was no prosecution initiated against Priyanka Vadra when she started putting comments on tweets without checking whether the article in the Indian Express about Hindus and Muslims being segregated in Gujarat was based on fact or not? You're amplifying a lie, there should be action against you. In Philippines, Maria Victoria Beltran, an actress and a screenwriter, put out a Facebook post sharing fake news during the lockdown. She was arrested. Now, why can't we do what Philippines does, Thailand does, UK does and Russia does? And you want to know what was planned and unplanned? 1 minute. You want to know what was planned and unplanned? Mohandas Pai, the only thing that was planned was Nikhil Kumaraswamy's wedding. The only thing that was planned were the crowds at Nikhil Kumaraswamy's wedding. That was planned. That was shame on you, Tanveer Ahmed. Shame on you for talking about planned and unplanned. We didn't plan COVID.
60 people.
We didn't plan COVID.
60 people coming for a wedding.
We didn't plan COVID. Oh yeah, drone shots, drone photography, people all over, logistics, event management companies, and we're all blind. MR Venkatesh, I think it's time to give it back. Last 15 minutes of the debate. Planned and unplanned. Tanveer Ahmed.
Chief Minister had said no rules were violated, and now we still want to discuss that.
The problem with Tanveer is he is a specialist in Mandya and Mysore area. suddenly has become a spokesperson from JDS, of JDS to spokesperson of New York Times. And that is what happens when you don't have the time to actually make this transition. You land up between the two stools. Now coming to the point, none of the chief ministers had the guts to ensure lockdown in their state, and they had to fire the lockdown barrel from the shoulder of Honorable Prime Minister. Let it be Goa, let it be Tripura, let it be Tamil Nadu, let it be Maharashtra. All the chief ministers prayed that the Prime Minister must announce the lockdown, and not only lockdown 1, lockdown 2, not only lockdown 2, lockdown 3 also. And should it extend to lockdown 4, I am sure every chief minister will fall on the center, and namely the towering personality of the Prime Minister to continue the lockdown. Why do I say this? None of these people are being seen as reliable in these troubled times. That is the fact of the matter. You don't trust a Uddhav Thackeray, you don't trust a Mamta at this time of troubled COVID times. You feel that the nation is safe, you are safe, your state is safe, because there is one man who is fighting it, that is Narendra Modi. Let us be very clear, this is a psychological thing. And to say that the nitpick, and if all the other people on the other side are so particular that the lockdown should have been done prior to March 22nd, why didn't their state do it? Who stopped Uddhav Thackeray from announcing lockdown on 7th March? If he had all the wisdom, who stopped Mamta from doing this? They did not do it because they knew that their fiat will fall on deaf ears. Their own state will do it. Even today, the lockdown has been done after consultation with all states, as you rightly pointed out. That it has been done with every single chief minister, and every single departments have been taken into confidence, and only then the lockdown was announced. And to say that lockdown was done as if it was done in some Timbuktu without being your states being consulted is absolute white lie, which only Tanveer is capable and his masters in New York Times are capable. Be that as it may, at least now Tanveer is asked New York Times and Congress Vatra Party.
MR, I don't know. I have never traveled to New York.
Congress Vatra Party.
I have never traveled to New York, nor I know anybody from New York. But listen,
I feel so sad that I have to say this today. One minute. I wish to say this today, MR, let me tell you. MR, 1 minute. Tanveer, 1 minute. Tanveer, I'll tell you. Now I will read out something. I will read out something, viewers. I will read out something, viewers. I will read out something.
Suffering from multiple personality disorder. You do not know whether you are spokesperson of JDS, Congress or New York Times.
No, I'll tell you one thing.
Where you stand, then we'll know where you stand.
Tanveer scripted a tweet for HD Kumaraswamy, Sambit Patra, which I will read out right now. This is what he wrote, and HD Kumaraswamy put out what he wrote. He said, when there was 9 p.m. for 9 minutes, HD Kumaraswamy, using Tanveer Ahmad's words, said, it is shameful to convert a national crisis into an event of self-aggrandizement. It is shameful to push a hidden agenda of the BJP in the face of global calamity. May sense prevail upon the Prime Minister of India. These were the words. The whole country was coming together. 1 minute. And this comes from someone who organized a massive event for his son's wedding, breaking all lockdown rules. I think that was shameful, Sambit. That was shameful. Not 9 minutes for 9 p.m. 1 minute.
So anyways, in the first Sunday debate during the lockdown, I had already named their party as a marriage party, and they ceased to be a political party anymore. So I won't speak about JDS. Now let me come to exposing the journalists also. Since we are speaking about the lobby and the cabal, we need to expose a few journalists. I mean, just imagine some of these so-called journalists, and since we are talking about the New York Times and foreign journalists also, have stooped to the abysmal low where they talk ill about the Home Minister of India, the kind of canards, falsities and false news that they were trying to spread because of their own agenda is something which India has seen and which was exposed yesterday. Number two, I was watching that Zoom app press conference of Mr. Rahul Gandhi with some handful of spokespersons and Randeep Surjewala to help. I mean, I was astonished. One of the journalists saying, मेरा तो नया कपड़ा भी आ गया है, कैसा है मेरा कपड़ा, बहुत अच्छा है ना? हाँ, बहुत अच्छा है. अब हम सवाल पूछेंगे. पूछिए. अच्छा राहुल जी, बहुत किसानों की बहुत हाल खराब हो गया है, वो चलते चलते बहुत थक गए हैं, अब आप क्या बोलेंगे? आप होते तो क्या करते? दूसरा, राहुल, you are looking so fresh, so good. What is the brand of shirt that you are wearing? आपने आज नाश्ता में क्या खाया? I mean, this kind
in
of
your
journalism.
speech of around 10-15 minutes, you always have 10-15 words of Rahul Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi, Congress Party. You cannot do without the Congress Party.
Just a second. These people need to be exposed, and let me tell you, these journalists also need to be exposed. I was asked, Mr. Goswami. I mean, we have FIRs, 200 FIRs if you ask the right question on Palghar lynching. But look at these journalists. मैं कैसा दिख रहा हूँ, मेरा कपड़ा देखो, मैं उस brand से लाया हूँ, and then suddenly they forget to ask the questions to Rahul Gandhi. I mean, is this the cabal that India needs when we are facing desperate times? No. We need people, okay, well, yes, if you want to ask about the migrant laborers, at least don't raise fake photos. We had one journalist showing
in Indian democracy, they are at their lowest.
Pakistan.
They don't matter. The opposition don't matter. What matters is that you and your party is in power. When we ask you questions, you go to Jawaharlal Nehru, you go to Kamala Nehru, you go to Rahul Gandhi, you go to Rajiv Gandhi. That is not answering the questions. We ask you some questions, you will not answer them.
I have a question. You asked me a few questions. I have a question from you. 10-second ka question hai. Why is it that Mamata Banerjee loves the Rohingyas and Bangladeshis only?
You have not answered my previous question.
Just a second.
You have not answered my previous question.
Manasvi, मैं तो बहुत बुरा हूँ. आप मेरे questions पे answer कर दीजिए. Why is it that Mamata Banerjee wants only Rohingyas and Bangladesh in Bengal? And Bangladeshis in Bengal? Why is it that she refused the Shramik Express railways, trains, in fact, carrying the migrant Bengali workers back to Bengal? It took Mr. Amit Shah.
They are not understanding it. Next election, they are going to lose. If they don't understand the pulse of these people, those people who question 370 are not in power.
The concern is, and let Mohandas Pai come in. You see, I think you make a good point, but let's keep it moving. Mohandas Pai, what I need to make a point, furthering from what you said, taking it further from what you said, Sambit, is that this lobby stands against India every time. Manasvi, we are sick of this lobby. We cannot tolerate this lobby anymore, and we need to tell you this, that India despises this lobby. What does the hashtag say, Mohandas Pai? Stay strong India. Stay strong India. Now, what did these people say? There was a paper called Gulf News. It put out an article which said, understand the chronology in India, let coronavirus hit, then spread fake news demonizing Muslims. Now, why was this piece put? A socialite journalist, actually she's a socialite, member of the Editors Guild of India, a socialite who's a member of the Editors Guild of India, puts out an article, there is a reason the rest of India cannot be Kerala, and then goes on to say, a political system doesn't create a society, it's the character of the people that enables political systems. In other words, passing judgment about the character of Indians. You know, and third example, certain Lutyens portals put out articles saying that the former chief economic advisor Shankar Acharya is saying IMF is completely wrong, India's actual figure of growth could be negative. The entire agenda is to circle people, Mohandas Pai, into a sense of disbelief that we will win and belief that we will lose. It's as elementary as that, Mohandas Pai. We need to talk about it. Because essentially, if we are together, we'll get past this. Dr. Mohandas Pai.
Anna, there's a small group of people, Lutyens media and in Lutyens Delhi, whose main agenda is to abuse India, make India look in bad light, give a spin, say India is communal, India is this and India is that. MJ Akbar wrote an article in the Gulf News pointing out that 93% of Indians support what Prime Minister has done. India has done very well, and we have to expose them. Just the other day, one female journalist was gloating, oh, look at Gujarat. Gujarat is doing so badly. Look at Kerala, what Kerala has done. Now, what about Maharashtra? What about Bombay, where they stay? Bombay has not done well. And all of us feel sad about it. There's no place to gloat. We should not make India look in good light. Let's talk with data. Compared to the greatest country in the world, the richest country in the world, look at how India has done. India is a poor country. India has got challenges. India is not rich, but look how India has done. Let us take pride in this and expose all these fatalists, all these anarchists, and all these people who are so communal. They want to play the communal card. They want to bash up India all where. They're starting this whole narrative about Islamophobia. Which country has got 200 million Muslims? Which country has treated its Muslim with better rights than anybody else? Which country has spent 50,000 crores on minorities and give them better rights? And they come gloat, they come and say Islamophobia, they do this, is a part of the ISI network. This Muslim media has fallen into the trap of the ISI. They're part of the Pakistani network to defame India at this point of time. And 4 lakh bots were exposed by Bakaran Paranjpe, who suddenly said, look how it is tweeting. And they're all part of the same cabal. They're all part of the same network because they have lost power. The ancient regime was feeding them and they're mouthing all these inanities and saying, oh, we have the right to criticize India. We have the right to criticize the government. Of course you have the right. We are a free society. You can criticize. But when you criticize, talk with data, talk with the sense, not with a demented mind, not with narrow minds who try to pick up one event and mobilize. There is one journalist who's walking all over India saying the migrants are going. 1 person died. Yes, 1 person died. Persons happen. Now look at this, Anna. Look at data. 160,000 Indians used to die every year because of accidents. Do we shut down all transportation? No. 10 people died every day because of railway accidents in Mumbai. Do we shut down the entire railway system because of that? No. We must have a sense of balance. We must talk with data. When things are being done properly, we must say yes. If things are bad, we got to be critical, not go on pointing fingers all the time. And that's why, Anna, these people have lost the battle. Nobody cares for them. They have no respect in this country. Of course, they're part of this New York Times and all this cabal. And they just found out who is the person who's running the New York Times opinion page. A person who's a Kashmiri, who was part of the Open Society of George Soros, who has gone there and whose wife is an anarchist and writes here. Just the other day, when JNU professor said, Brahmins have sambar powder. Now criticizing, saying we're becoming communal because somebody is selling Brahmins sambar powder. The left's ideology has become criticizing sambar powder. What a joke, Arnab. What a fall for all these people.
No, it is genuinely a fall.
And build a strong India.
No, we are absolutely and genuinely. Manasvi, smile. We will get through this. First of all, look at the camera right now, Manasvi.
Absolutely.
Tell everyone watching, tell everyone watching, stay strong, India. Say it. Say it, Tanveer.
Stay strong, India.
Stay strong, India.
Strong, everyone. Stay strong, Samit ji. Stay strong, Rahul ji. Everyone.
Stay strong, India. Stay strong, India. Stay strong.
Look at the effort it takes.
Stay strong economy. Stay strong migrant workers. Stay strong.
And when you say
stay strong, poor people, stay strong. I think India is strong. Stay strong, Bharat. Bharat also needs to stay strong. We talk about India. Bharat is left off. Bharat के बारे में भी थोड़ा बात कर लेंगे.
You are such an educated man. India includes everyone. Migrant laborers also, economy also. For you, India means only Vadra family, it seems. That you have to take specification.
No,
India means everyone.
फिर से ले आए वाड्रा फैमिली को.
India means.
Samit ji, why can't you leave Vadra family, Gandhi family, and talk about BJP family, Sun family, and the work you are doing?
So what's your? So let me ask them, Surabhi, let me ask you, what do you think is going to be their next agenda? Because they are running out of issues. The migrant labor issue is sorted. International repatriation has happened. Agriculture is absolutely strong. The supply network is doing fairly well. Economically, on a relative axis, we are doing far better than any other economy.
Agriculture is in mess.
What is going to be the... No, agriculture is not a mess. Agriculture is at record levels. I'm sorry. Agriculture is at record levels. You claim to be a farmer. You are no farmer by any description out here. In fact, if you're a farmer, you're only taking...
I have more information than you and everybody.
Well, you may have information, but you're misusing.
Regarding agriculture,
I'm sorry.
Better information.
I am very sorry. Now you tell me.
I don't. I'm not.
1 minute.
I'm telling you the facts.
Viewers, I'm asking Surabhi. She has a good crystal ball sometimes. Surabhi, now they have no issues here. By the way, the problem with Tanveer is he wants to be one of the 8 crore beneficiaries of the Ujjwala LPG Yojana, which gets cylinders free of cost. You know why he's unhappy? Because he's not getting cylinders free of cost. Poor people are getting it. He says he's a farmer. I wonder whether he's among the 8.4 crore farmers who have got money in their bank accounts, because that's the only identity that a farmer can prove today. Did you get money in your bank account to help you ease through the lockdown? Did you receive any money, Tanveer? Did you receive any money, Tanveer?
I come in a greater economic category. I have refused to get
so
any
you are not
benefits.
among the... So he admits, Surabhi, that 8.4 crore farmers who needed the help got the help. Tanveer is unhappy because he's a rich farmer. And rich farmers are not getting the help. Surabhi, let me tell you today, the healthcare is going at a breakneck speed. There are 700 dedicated COVID hospitals in India. Tanveer is not happy about that. So I can give fact after fact after fact to prove reasons why Tanveer is unhappy. He's thinking that if everything goes well, if things go fine, if India wins this, if India stays strong, what is going to be my political future? Well, Tanveer, your political future is none of our concern. India's future is our concern. Surabhi.
Arnab, I think that nobody needs to have a crystal ball to figure out what's going to come next from everybody who's wishing for everything to go wrong. Because any issue, I think the very fact that every single time India does minutely well in any field, there are a certain set of people who just cannot believe it, who are in disbelief and who absolutely cannot believe it. And I just want to point out, Arnab, we spoke about foreign journalists. Where are foreign journalists getting their stories from? Where are they getting this picture of India? They're getting it from this, a set of people, known criminals who have constantly been berating India from the beginning, not just from when 2014 started, but from the very beginning of our democracy, where India has to be shown to the foreign media in a very, very bad light. And Tanveer ji, may I just say that really, you are sitting in Bangalore, which has come together in such amazing ways, the startup ecosystem, which has helped home deliver essentials, the communities that have come together to take care of people who have difficulties, farmers who have not been able to sell their produce. I know of people in Bangalore who have been taking the farmer produce directly to apartments, selling it there. As a community, we have come together, Tanveer ji. Yet you sit and talk about how terrible things can go, how we are not in the right direction, how we are absolutely going to fail in every single agenda. I think this is, Arnab, just the fact that at a time of crisis,
India is not Bangalore. India is Davangere, India is Raishore. You go and see the condition of people in Gadag. You see the condition of people in Gadag, in Gulbarga,
that is of you to of course.
Bangalore can fight. People
like
Mohan and Kiran are really funding. But that is not India.
Please.
Last week he came on the program, Surabhi. Surabhi, one minute. Smita, last week he came on the program and said that Bangalore will collapse. This time he's saying the rest of Karnataka will collapse.
Completely wrong.
Yeah, it's amazing. He's incredible.
Arnab, he's completely wrong. Agriculture is the one bright spot. Agriculture is the one bright spot. CEOs of the country have said that industry will take 6 months to recover. Agriculture is the one bright spot out here. They've said there's 3% growth, 3% this year despite adverse conditions, despite the fact that migrant laborers have not been able to go and to the farms to harvest their produce. In spite of that, we've had a record food grain production. Tanveer is absolutely wrong when he says, yes, of course, there are random farmers who have faced difficulties because of weather conditions. But then for him to say that the farm sector has suffered because of COVID, they are the one bright spot. They are the ones who are going to survive. Nonsense. Please go and Google back when you see it. I have been reading up and I have been sending reporters to the ground. We have been doing reporting from the ground across the country. The farm sector is what has been the single shining star
really
as far as any industry is concerned. Every other industry has had setbacks. You are absolutely
the farmers
wrong.
are absolutely in bad condition and nobody wants to really talk.
I'm sorry to say this, but you are sounding like Priyanka Vadra, who says that the power grid is going to collapse for 9 minutes at 9. I mean, you're sounding as uninformed as Priyanka Vadra. Sambit is on the debate. Sambit is on the debate. Last 3 minutes, Sambit.
Yeah, on a serious note,
Who's Priyanka?
since we had a good panel.
Vadra.
Just a second. Thank you. You don't know Priyanka. It's good. You will be staying healthy. No, anyways, since we had a good panel today, I think the last few minutes should be taken to salute all those COVID warriors who have been putting their life in the front line to save us all, number one. Number two, I believe every Indian citizen should be saluted for the kind of maturity every single Indian citizen has shown. I mean, this is really a beautiful and a blessed country. I mean, look at US, look at other countries. I mean, I've been talking to my friends in foreign destinations. They are saying that यहाँ पे पढ़े लिखे लोग हैं, मगर वो लोग भी नहीं मान रहे हैं. But this is the beauty of India's democracy, and thanks to Mr. Modi and his cabinet, I would say, timely decisions. And lastly, I would say, I mean, despite all this, there are canards spread by a cabal. And we had seen as to, in the name of Islamophobia, there are certain people who had gone to Arab countries complaining about India's democracy. We had astonishingly,
shame on them.
This is something which needs to be exposed. We had Delhi Minority Commission chairperson, Mr. Jafarul Islam, who is in a constitutional post, drafting a letter to Kuwait saying that, in fact, an avalanche should come and hit India because Indian Muslims are not being treated properly. Let me, through this channel, say that we are one of the most populous Muslim, I mean, we have one of the most highest population of Muslims in the world, only second to Indonesia. And this is a heaven for Muslims to say that we have Islamophobia in India, but India hates
MR is also on last 2 minutes, please.
Don't equate the Muslims.
Manasvi and MR, 2 minutes on the debate right now, viewers. You know the anti-lockdown agenda will be punished eventually.
MR. Come out of this successful. Tanveer, you will win.
India is going to win. There is no one who can stop India winning it.
You will win. You will also be participating in this.
India is not going to be destabilized by anyone. Fake news spreaders, creators should stop now.
One on the left.
We are fighting Infodic versus epidemic. We should just come out as a strong Indian unit.
Let me ask you in conclusion. Let me ask you in conclusion, Mohandas Pai. It could take a month, it could take 2 months. We think the lockdown in some measure will have to stay. I heard yesterday, for example, Guwahati, green zone. But the moment you became a green zone, and I was told by someone, again, the crowds are back on the streets, and then, it's become an orange zone, and then we are worried. So the question also is, we need to stay strong, because if we pull back, the moment we pull back, and if we pull back early, bigger danger than pulling back is pulling back early into success, then there's a great danger of the whole cycle repeating itself. We cannot afford that. That will mitigate all the gains that we have made in the last 47 days. Maybe you'd like to address that as well, Mohandas Pai.
Yes. Arnab, 45% of people depend on agriculture. There is no lockdown there. They're in agricultural activities. They're in the rural areas. They're working well. 60% of India is rural. I think in the rural areas, yes, there is social distancing. They're working very well. 40% of India is urban. Out of 40%, 50% which are not the red zones are working well. So I think the real lockdown that you see may be in 20% of India, and we have to be conscious. It basically means people above 55 should stay at home because they're in danger because of age. I'm staying at home. I'm past 60. I'm staying at home, and I have been home for the last 60 days. First time in my life I've been home 60 days. Never been there, and I'm healthier. I'm much better, and I think we should take care of these people. People below the age of 20 should stay at home. School and colleges we should shut. So actually a small part of India are in the open, and we must salute all these people. So lockdown should continue. So in the red zones, we must take precautions. We must have social distancing. We must make sure we don't get in trouble. And most of all, Arnab, we should not infect anybody else. If we are infected, we must stay in seclusion. We must stay in quarantine to make sure. And Arnab, all of us as Indians should rise to the flag, should help those people who are in pain. We should help those people who do not have food. Do our best. I want to ask all the people in the debate, how many of us have really stood up for others and helped? Let us talk about the people we help. Let us not go on talking and beating ourselves with a whip every time. Oh, India has done badly. India has done this. India has done that. Let us say, what have we done for India? What have we done to make sure the pain of people becomes less? What have we done to make sure that we give food to the people who lack food? Let us be positive, because we can only win if we are positive, not beating ourselves up. And let us expose those people, literacy media, who write bad things about us with fake news, with lies and bad data in the Washington Post, New York Times, and let us expose all this cabal of, who work for foreign interests, who have sold their souls out who have sold themselves out to the foreign interests for a few fistful of dollars. The people who are sold out for a fistful of dollars, let us expose them because they are not representing India. Let us expose the people who are spreading the canard of Islamophobia. Let's export the thing. All these people who are spreading lies about India, because India has to remain strong. We have to be united. We have to help each other, and we have to win, and we have to come out strong. And India will come out strong.
I think this is also a time to strategize. And I would say that if we look at our many concealed victories, thank you for saying that. Stay strong, India. We'll have a stronger economy. When this ends, let me make a prediction today, Tanveer. Tanveer, let me make a prediction today, and I will catch up with you on this. When this ends, we'll have a stronger supply chain, stronger infrastructure, stronger agricultural system. We'll have a stronger global presence. We'll have a stronger economy, and I want to make one last prediction. Believe me, people are watching the media.
Yes.
We'll have a stronger and new media. A stronger and new media will emerge out of this. All the people who did the negativity, we will not spare them once the lockdown is over. I thank you very much for joining me on the debate on this Sunday. And viewers, see you tomorrow. Good night. Goodbye.